talking to them. I saw one of my friends was complaining the other day that they gave a job to somebody who doesn't even have experience. In my head, I figured she might not even know that there are other things they consider, not just the experience. And we're going to look into all that today. So, successful career is based on a hidden term called intrinsic value. Intrinsic value. This word, intrinsic value, is a financial term. It's the perceived value of an asset. In other words, it's what the investor is willing to pay for a particular asset. It is not the what, it's what they are willing, what they perceive it to be. When you hear that stocks, oh, the value of this stock is high, the value of this stock is down, it's not because that stock actually earned that value. It is the intrinsic value, the perception that this company might likely do well, this company might likely expand in the future. That perception is what sets the price of that stock. The same thing with human beings. And you, as a student, or you trying to get into the workforce, your intrinsic value is what actually places you in the workforce. So in this situation, in the situation of career and academics, it is what the company is willing to pay, right? It's their perception of the value they place in you. That's what it is. So that's why you go to an interview in one company, they didn't give you the job. You go to the other one, they give you the job, and you begin to wonder, why did I answered the same thing. I did exactly the same thing. I might use the same resume. It's because their perception of whom you are is different from one company to the other. So if that is the situation, don't you think it makes sense that we should focus on increasing our value? Whether you are looking for a job or whether you're in the workforce, it makes sense for us to increase the value, our intrinsic value. And how can we do that? How can we increase our intrinsic value? We can do job shadow. You job shadow others in your field or your company and broaden your skills. What happened when you broaden your skill, you deepen your experience and skills and increase your ability to handle multiple tasks, and your worth increases. Attending training sessions to increase your knowledge. You know, most of us focus only on hours of work. I want to work more hours. I want to work more hours. I want to work more hours and more hours. All you are increasing is your income. That's all, period. When you're working more hours and focusing on income, you are only increasing income. When you're focusing on work, you're increasing income. You're not increasing nothing else. You just have to know, I just did a presentation last week about increasing capital. What is the difference between increasing income and increasing capital? Capital is anything that has the potential to increase income. So if capital is anything that has potential to increase income, why wouldn't I increase capital? Maybe generate 5 different capitals so that those 5 different capitals will generate 5 different income for me. And that's how wealth is created. So when you're attending sessions, especially now in this age of technology, where you can take any course online, you can listen, you can attend Zoom lessons, you can do this The sky is your limit when it comes to technology in this age. There's so much you can do. So if you spend 1 month and you haven't added anything in your pocket of knowledge and skill, it's a total waste of time. Because these are the things that will increase your value. Investigate new strategies and technologies that are relevant to your career. If you're going into medical line, you better start subscribing to medical magazines. You better start reading articles, start reading research publications in that field. If you're planning to be an engineer, you better start thinking of joining engineering. There's an engineering professional group. Sometimes, yeah, you have to pay membership fee. Yeah, that fee is an investment. It's something you don't want to neglect and say, no, I don't want to join them. It's all about carnality. Yes, I agree with you. It's all carnality. But when you go there, ask the Lord to empower you so that when you speak, the word and the fire from your mouth will destroy all the carnality. You know, make sure you get into those organizations and get yourself involved. Right? The designation exams, engineering exams and everything. Try and be an expert in one or two technologies that are relevant in that industry. Just what happened in this COVID time have shown us how much we are reliant on technology, how much we can do with technology. Do you know how many people that were fired in companies? You can't believe how many. I can talk about, if I talk about the school where I lecture, a lot of people, basically, a lot of lecturers backed out. They backed out, why? Because they cannot handle the technology. It's too much for them. It is too much learning because they waited so late. And then the COVID slapped everybody into technology. We have no choice than to learn it. So if you are the type of person who is saying, no, I don't like to talk to machines. You know, there's this guy that usually say, I don't like to leave voicemail because I don't want to talk to machines. I said, how would you return phone messages to your clients? Any place you call, they're going to say, oh, the machine will come in, of course. And they'll say, press 1, press 2, press 3, press 4, press 5. You keep talking to the machine until you get to what you want. You can't avoid it. There are things that cannot be avoided. The next strategy to increase your value is for you to get involved if you're already in the workplace. Remember, when you step your feet into the workplace, that is not your bus stop. Stepping your feet into your career is not the end of everything. It's just the beginning. So don't look at it as, I have arrived. No, you have not arrived. You're just starting. Do not isolate yourself in the workplace. Do not. I see this happen a lot, especially with immigrants. They try to isolate themselves because the kind of discussion that is going on is not pleasant in your ears. You don't like that. You want to isolate yourself. I will encourage you to get involved, not just in your job, but also in the non-job related activities of the company. When I was working as a financial planner, one of the activities that we do, financial planners work so hard. Our brochures will say 24 hours, 7 days a week. So at the end of maybe every month, they want to go out and just, release stress somehow. How do we do that? They go golfing, you know. I don't golf. I don't even know how to golf. But I always go. You know what I did? I said, I would like to drive the cars. Let me drive everybody then. So I become the driver. They didn't know that I was hiding away from not being able to golf. The most important thing is that I'm there. So anywhere we go, I said, I want to drive. I want to drive everybody. I want to drive everybody. Most of the time, what I'm doing is basically trying to hide from what I'm not able to do. So I just want to look at when you're not getting involved, when you're not getting involved in the company's activities, there are a lot of things that will pass you by. There are a lot of things that you wouldn't even know that is going on. And you know what? That's where you sell yourself. That's where you advertise yourself. That's the easiest opportunity for you to meet the people on top. Because under normal condition, you wouldn't meet them. They are in their office high somewhere. But when you have this kind of social gathering, that's where you meet with them. The next one, I will encourage you to find a mentor in your area. It's a great way to gain knowledge and introduce you to other opportunities. We're still on increasing your value, how you can increase your value as somebody who is looking to get a job somewhere, or somebody who is trying to increase yourself or improve yourself in the workforce or ascend into a higher position. Stay away from verbalizing your worth. Yes, as you increase your value, your worth increases, and you know it. You know that you have a first class. You know that you are. Stay away from verbalizing it. Rather, demonstrate it. Do not verbalize it, demonstrate it. The next thing, I've just said, do not verbalize it. It doesn't mean keep quiet all the time. I just said, do not verbalize your worth. I'm talking about your worth, what your worth, your value. Do not verbalize it. Keep it to yourself and demonstrate. Action speaks better than words. But then when there are issues of concern in a place of work, even in the school, if there's an issue of concern and you keep quiet, you keep silent, it's a sign of humility. It's not a sign of humility. Rather, it demonstrates inability to thrive in a sensitive situation. Right? And be willing to volunteer in unpaid tasks. Things that are not paid. You're not paid to do this. You're not paid to do that. You're not paid. How much are they going to pay me? I'm just going to spend 5 hours on Saturday. That's okay. These are all investment pieces that you invest to bring you from one point in your career to the next. Accept and offer constructive criticisms. Do not be scared to offer criticisms. Do not be scared to criticize. Don't be scared. The only thing you should be scared of is not giving a constructive criticisms. That's what you should be scared of. What you should be scared of, how am I giving these criticisms? And you should be able to accept it when it's given to you, especially in the workplace. Always form that habit of being happy when you criticize and saying, oh, thank you so much. Somebody's writing, somebody's annotating in my in my PowerPoint. Okay, so have that attitude of offering constructive criticism and accepting it. Always saying, Oh, thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. Oh, thank you so much. I actually never looked at it in this situation. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. You know, all those little pieces, they add to your intrinsic value. And then we come to the last portion, the investment piece. Now you've passed through your career, you got your job. What next? This is the time that people, they get the job, they relax, and they take a big sigh of relief. Finally, time to rest. No, it's time to invest. It's not time to rest. It's time to invest. Remember, in one of the slides, we talked about investment, your career as an investment. One of the popular concepts in the financial planning is called diversification, which means do not put all your eggs in one basket. Do not rely only on your career for your financial growth. Leverage your career. Let your career be the foundation, your leverage to create other investments. This is the moment you graduate and get a career, or you're in a career, this is the time to think, I'm going to leverage this career and channel myself into investment pieces. So before, what is the first investment piece as a Christian? Giving into the kingdom. Do not joke with this. Do not joke with this. I'm talking from experience. Don't joke with this. You know, don't joke with this, especially when you're making big money. 10% of it looks really big. When you get this, some of you on bonuses, you get a bonus of 50,000, 10% of it, that looks big. You know, don't joke with that. So that would be our starting point of investment, and constantly consistent for every child of God. Start with opening bank accounts and designate one strictly for investment purposes. Invest in both short-term and long-term investment. What do I mean by short-term and long-term investment? By short-term and long-term investment, I mean like investment, that things that you're going to use in the next 1-2 years. Long-term, things like retirement money, money to buy a house, money to purchase property somewhere. Those are long-term investment. And make sure you are part of your company's pension plan. This is the big one. This is part of the things you should negotiate in the interview. Don't just ask, how much are you paying me? How much would you pay me? You know, the employers will laugh. They will be laughing within them if that is the only question you're asking about how much they're paying you. Tell them, I would love to know the total compensatory package for this position. What is the total compensatory package for this? Ask about the package. Don't take one piece and run with it. There's so many things that come in a package of unemployment. And most of us take the income and run with the income. That's it. Most companies have company pension. They will say, oh, you put in maximum 8%, and we will match it 100%. You put in 8%, we will match it 100%. That is huge, 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 huge amount. So do not joke with those things. Make sure you are part of a company's pension. Some companies also have a registered retirement income plan where they deduct money from your account, from your paycheck, and it goes directly into your registered retirement account. That's a very good option. In one of the presentations I did, I talked about how you can actually use money from your registered retirement account to put as down payment on a house. So you're going to use one stone to kill two birds. Look for the insurance plans in your company. It's one of the cheapest insurance option, the insurance plans inside the company. Most importantly, look for health plans. Look for health plans, make sure you're part of it. Don't say, after all, we're in Canada, after all, we're in America, we have the general health plan. Do you really know that if you move from Manitoba and go to Saskatchewan, or move from Manitoba to Edmonton, your Manitoba health is no longer applicable? Maybe we don't know that. And if you happen to have just maybe a little surgery or something, you might be paying up to $5,000 just for staying one day in the hospital. So, but if you have a company health plan that covers you sometimes within the country and outside the country, that even some of you that come from maybe Nigeria or whatever, you can travel with that insurance. So make sure you're using the total compensatory package from your workplace. Invest in physical assets that are capable of appreciating in value. Assets that can appreciate in value. What do I mean by that? Some of us that love cars, everybody who knows me know that is my problem. So I'm talking from experience. I wish I could go back. Invest in physical assets that will appreciate in value. A car does not appreciate in value. That fantastic, nice wristwatch does not appreciate in value. So always think, anytime you're thinking investment, think, I need something that will appreciate in value. I need something that will appreciate in value. It doesn't mean you're not going to buy a car, then that wouldn't be a place where you're going to dump all your savings, because it does not appreciate in value. All right. I can see my time is running short. I just want to quickly, this is what I call my driving license. Anytime I'm making a presentation to a church group, this is my driving license. My driving license, that means this is something you have to put in your pocket before you engage in everything that I've said today. This have to be in your pocket for you to remember. Coins make so much noise. Currency notes are always silent. Remember? The smaller denominations are the ones that make noise. The bills are very silent. So when you increase in value, stay humble, be quiet. Stay humble and remember Deuteronomy 8:8. Remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to produce wealth, and so confirms his covenant, which is swore to your ancestors as it is today. Praise the Lord. Any questions? Brother, I think we can take questions now.
Yes, ma'am. Anyone that wants to ask John, you can just come on live video so we can see your face. Yeah, I have to know we are ghosts. Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, I have a question we have for then.
Your sound is pretty low.
Okay. I said I have a question.
You want to chat it maybe?
Can you hear me, ma'am? Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I mean. That your voice is kind of not too clear. But can you chat your question? Can you send it to chat?
Okay.
Please, you guys, you can send your question to chat. That would be faster, actually.
I think we have Olayinka who raised his hands up.
Okay. Before then, I have one question from Deborah. I said, how do we go about grouping at work? And it looks as if you are always left out. Yes. You know, that this is a very big concern. And I can hear you loudly most of the time. You know, why is it that this question says, how do you go about grouping at work? And it looks like you're being left out, right? Okay. Why is it that you're being left out? Because they have assessed you in their mind. They have placed your value somewhere. This is the challenges that a lot of people go through here, where your value is being assessed wrongly. So they have assessed you wrongly and placed you, and that is why you are left out in the grouping. Trust me, the moment they see your value, the day they will make a mistake and have you in that group, and they see how you will contribute, then you'll be the number one to be picked. Now, I will suggest that try and jump in and be the one doing the picking. Try and jump in and demonstrate leadership skill and be the one organizing these groups. And tell them, give them insights. This, you know, if you do it this way, it's going to be better that way, that way, that way. Jump in and be the one organizing this group. And when you do go to a group, do not keep quiet. Do not just stay and copy notes from others. Make sure you prepare yourself. Make sure, remember, increase your value. Increase your value. Increase your value in any situation, not just in small situation. All right, somebody else who was raising their hands?
Okay, thank you, madam, for your wonderful presentation.
You're welcome.
From my little experience for the period I've stayed here and the experience I had back home, I know investing in shares, stock exchanges, one of a very good form of investment for both short term and long time, like you gave an example. So, but here in Canada, I want to know specifically from your experience, which other form of investment can someone go into, maybe for a short term? I know you also mentioned about buying house, and I know that might be for a long time and it depends on your capital. But at least in a little way to start gradually, which other form of investment do you suggest it's good to go into? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for your question. So basically what you're asking for is investment suggestion, which by law in Canada, by law, you do not make recommendation for investment, except when I have gone through what is called your personal investor profile, right? Anybody that is making suggestion and telling you, oh, this is the investment you should go into, oh, go into that, just know they're not financial planners. They're not, and they can go to jail for that. So what am I saying? Before I can make that recommendation, there are things to consider. What kind of investor are you? What is the money going to be used for? How do you handle risk? Is this money, is it going to be used for like retirement? Is it money you're going to use to buy a car in 3 years? All those things go into your investor profile. And based on your investor profile, I should be able to see you are not here, you are not here. This is where you should be, right? So anybody telling you go this, go this, go that, no, that's wrong. So if you happen to have a bank, you go and sit down with your banker, they will do that profile for you. So that maybe when you're talking to somebody, you're gonna say, oh, I just got it done last week, and they told me I am a balanced investor. they told me I'm an aggressive growth investor. That would be something the person can leverage to make a suggestion for you. But the only thing I want you to know is that when you say investing in stocks, basically, it means investing in shares of companies. That's all. You are investing in shares of companies, right? One area that most people invest in companies, even when you put money into your company account, you are investing in shares of companies. Sometimes they put it into something called mutual fund. Mutual, from the word mutual, means pull together. So everybody brings their money, we pull it together to form a bigger pool. And then there's a manager, there's a fund manager who is managing that bigger pool. What is that manager doing? He is actually buying shares from companies. So sometimes people think because I'm a mutual fund, I am not buying stocks. No, you are. It's just that you are not the one buying it. Okay? So that will just give you an idea. I didn't really give you specifically, go and do this. No, but I kind of gave you an idea right now. Okay. Do we have any other question? I don't see any in the chat. All right. Does that mean we're good? Awesome. Good. So I'll say thank you for your time and for listening. I believe that's all the questions we have for today. And I'll pass it back to Brother Ola. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that insightful, words from you. We're very, very much blessed. Things about academics, about investment. It's something that one needs to know to be able to, to make impact and also make progress in this foreign land. We thank you so much for giving from us, from your wealth of knowledge. We're really very much, enlightened as to the information that you presented to us. It was very, very, it shows that you're a real resource person. So those are, the points